Hello and welcome to another video. And I thought I'd leave it a few days. I made 3 Amico videos in 3 days, and I do kind of want to do other things with my channel rather than just talk about this thing all the time. If there was something to talk about, you know, I mean, I've saved up sort of 3 things for this video. But if there was something sort of meaty to talk about every single day, God, I certainly would do it. But then again, I've got to take a break from it sometime. Otherwise, I'm just end up absolutely shattered, just constantly talking about the thing. Because by the time I've recorded a video, edited it, and the editing doesn't take too long. Cause it's just kind of a sort of off the cuff thing mostly. But I just then sort of slot it together, upload it, make a thumbnail, and it just becomes a little bit exhausting if I'm just doing it all the time. And I do like to put up some gameplay videos as well. It's a shame the gameplay videos don't do anywhere near as well as an Amico video, but it is what it is. For some reason, it's like YouTube has pigeonholed me as a retro gaming channel. Sure, the biggest hits on my channel are from some PSP games from back in the day. But what can you do? Just come on YouTube. Just give me a lick. Yeah. Anyways, now just before I get into the first topic in this video, I don't want to come across like I'm sounding like I'm copying Canadian Gamer, but because I'm recording this on a Friday night, and if it's a Friday night and I'm not going out anywhere, I like not to have just like on a sort of, you know, if it's a school night, I'll have a lager, a pint of lager. But I've got, what's my favourite at the moment? Carling, that's very nice. But on Friday night, if I'm not going anywhere, you know, not going out or anything, then I just like to take a sip of my red wine. Very nice. So, it's very nice indeed. I think this is one from Aldi. Just, you know, it only costs about £5, and that's all you need to spend on a bottle of red wine, really. Get a nice few glasses out of that. But I'll have one big glass of red wine, and that'll do me. I don't need to have a load. It just makes me sort of nicely mellow for the evening. And so yeah, the first thing I'm going to talk about is this is just mad. Someone says on this Reddit post, now we know why the price of the console jumped from $150 to $250, and it's so true. In their desperate bid to try and push something out other than a turd every time they go to the toilet, one of the people they took a loan from to try and sort of sustain this awful business is this chap called Sudesh Agarwal. Apparently it's a same surname to one of the people on the Intellivision board. I forget his first name. Samir Agarwal. It could be. And they may be related. No one knows exactly. But it says in August 2021, Sudesh loaned the company $675,000 in exchange for the company's agreement to repay the principal amount plus $202,500 in costs. So that's 30% interest rate. 30%. That's how this loan has been organised. It says no interest is accruing on the loan, but we're still about to get fucked in the ass on it because the company agreed to pay the fees and costs on or before December 31st, 2021, and to pay $100 for each Amico sold by the company until the balance is paid in full. They're never going to pay that. They've got no money. They're out of money. As of December, yeah, so they've got to pay that back. But as of December 31st, 2021, there was still the same amount outstanding on the loan. I just saw Tommy Amico's tribute to Sudesh, so I'll add that in the description. That was very funny. And when you watch it, because the song that plays in the background, I won't say what it is. You can listen to it yourself. I thought it was actually a brand new song that he'd made, because he makes some great songs. But yeah, I thought it was a brand new song until the chorus kicked in. I was thinking it was sounding like something like Air Supply at first, but yeah, something else that's 80s. But you'll hear it anyway. But my God, that's just absolutely insane, isn't it? Just pay nearly, you loan nearly seven. I mean, what are they going to do with 700 grand near enough to piss it up the wall? That's all they're bloody doing. I mean, they'll probably hire an office out for a few weeks. It's just, what the fuck are they playing at? I don't know. But to add insult to injury, this is the start engine page, and at the time of recording this, it's about 10 p.m. on Friday the 11th of February, and they launched this around about. In fact, they launched this at 11 p.m. ish on the 7th of February. So we're pretty much coming up to 96 hours, and there's a thing where if you invested in the first 70 Windy Pops. If you invested in the first 72 hours, you got some bonus shares. So anyone who's going to invest is going to invest in the first 72 hours. And they wanted, obviously, to get $5 million if they could. Yeah, it's going well. So I'll just refresh it in case $5 million near enough has just rolled in since I last brought up this page. Let's just refresh it. Oh, bugger, there isn't. 47 investors. Hitman would be proud. So in this, they put out a big new advert full of old footage, and the best they can manage. I mean, Christopher Cross once sang the best thing you can do is fall in love, but to Intellivision, the best thing you can do is invest in the Amico, whereas anyone sane knows that's a fool's errand. But it claims to have a $30.1 million valuation. They want $5 million, and they've got pretty much fuck all. 53 grand. So no one's going to bother investing after they're not going to get any bonus shares. Why the fuck would you bother? It's madness. Let's just go and have a laugh at some of these comments, because where have the bloody comments gone? Where comments? There we go. Let's have a laugh. I covered some comments before. It's always worth a bloody laugh anyway. Joseph B. Besides the market research request below, I'd like to request a breakdown how I forgot what SAM means, but basically it's trying to get some money out of it anyway. I have two concerns to address. Free-to-play with microtransactions games are responsible for 80% of digital game revenue. How did you account for this in your calculation of SAM? I just keep thinking of Son of Sam, which is a great song. I know this obviously relates to something else, but is it Elliot? Son of Sam. Elliot Smith? Yes, Elliot Smith. And brilliant song. Look up Son of Sam by Elliot Smith, released in April 2000. And sadly the guy passed away in October 2003. That's a great shame. But Jesus. I forgot what the cause of death was. He died from 2 stab wounds to the chest. That's awful. Jesus. Yeah. Anyways, very sorry to hear that. Your sum of 25% is actually greater than the entire non-microtransaction revenue of 20%. Amico bans microtransactions, so this seems mathematically impossible. Amico, impossible. Fuck me. Roughly 40% of game revenues from China and Far East Asia. Well, another Sam question, I don't know. And then he has another Sam question here, which appears to be based on a percentage of smartphone gamers in your chart. Since these are predominantly the casual games you're targeting, the issue is they casually game on their phones, specifically because they already own the platform. And it's convenient. I said this last time. That people play it when they're on the bus, home from work, or to and from work, or when they're having a poo, or on a break at work. Some people might even do it while they're working, but naughty. But either way, the kind of games people play when they're out and about, they're not going to come home and pay $300 for a console to play the exact same games on their TV. It's something they just did to pass the time while they were out. When they come home, they've got better things to be doing. So, yes. Additionally, the vast majority of revenue from casual games from microtransactions, something the Amico bans. My question is, what specific market research have you performed, and where can I find the methodology results to determine what portion of casual gamers don't own an existing console, but blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's not happening. It's an absolute joke. Jesus Christ. David S. says, in the interest of fairness, the CEO and CTO, and I'm losing track of who those are, they did an interview a few hours ago, which is probably the most sincere interview we've ever seen in the history of the new Intellivision. It's worth a view, and here's the link. And I clicked on the link, and who is it? It's Welcome Intellivision CEO. I've actually obviously flicked through it. I'm not going to play it. The original Next Level Gaming. So it's Mike Mullis, the guy who throws out illegal copyright strikes, false copyright strikes. And well, at least he got his hits out of it anyway. But because he got 2,000 hits so far. But I don't know. He's also in the last video. That video where he was doing the live stream. He's just eating all the way through it without turning his microphone off. He's not saying anything. He's just eating into the microphone. It's awful. But God, that's supposed to be a sincere interview. No, I don't think so. What else have we got? Mike C. With regards to $25 million in pre-orders, blah, 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 what's the itemized account for each category? Do the purchase orders have an expiry date? Nick, could you at least state what the percentage is? Yeah, you're asking questions which you're not going to get any answers for. Oh, Nick has responded. That's Nick Richards, Prairie Dog Shooter. Take it 25% upfront distributors for future orders, not included in the $25 million figure. Expand on it a little, blah, blah, blah. Mike, we can't really break down specifically as it creates some tension in the distributor side of the market. In other words, we're not going to keep it to ourselves, basically. It's just bluff. Just flicking through. Yeah, it's just a load of old bollocks that he's talking there. That's safely ignored. As someone with decades of experience with video games, please do not be fooled into investing in this. The company has a vision that is unsustainable, and its detractors have been proven right at every turn. Thank you. Over the past years, every time I say over the past, it's like I think of was it the Orb, Little Fluffy Clouds. Over the past few years, to the traditional sounds of English summer has been added a new sound. Little Fluffy Clouds. Over the past few years, the traditional sound of an English summer has been added a new sound. The former CEO is the sound of Tommy Talarico talking out of his fucking arse. The former CEO has run the console's goodwill into the ground, and the gaming press rightfully believes this console has no market. At this point, it's almost as expensive as the major consoles. It is as expensive. It's $10 off, or £10 off, but without their games. No kid wants this over a Switch. Nothing on it will match the wholesome fun of Mario or Zelda. Exactly. I was going to mention my nephew a little bit later, but he's like 13, 14, and he's got a Switch. If you showed him an Amico, he wouldn't be interested in the slightest. It's got nothing for him. It's not even. No one's interested in this. No one wants any of this, apart from people who are just so suckered in. No kid wants this over a Switch, and nothing on it will match the wholesome fun of Mario or Zelda. It's a console whose only audience is the very few people who are nostalgic for the Amiibo, well, the old Intellivision, I guess. Nobody who understands the gaming industry would ever invest in this. You can call me a hater, I'm not, but before you spend your hard-earned money, please at least do your research and read what the real gaming press, oh thank you, and influencers, oh thank you, have to say. They've all burned their goodwill in the community and were banned from the biggest retro forum for attacks and lies by the previous CEO, who was recently demoted. Please, this is a black hole. If Amazon couldn't compete with their cloud-based console, then this at least is a joke. A poor business decision propping up the pie-in-the-sky dream of Tommy Talarico. Yeah, there's a comment, yeah, blah, 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 Thomas T. He's posting comments, and it's clearly not Tommy, it's just someone who's just talking out their ass. And clearly you don't have to invest in this in order to comment. Otherwise, Clary won't have commented, won't have invested, I'm sure. Jacob L, I don't believe Thomas T is really Tommy. He doesn't have the Intellivision indicator next to his name like Nick Rhodes. It's not Nick Rhodes, it's the Prairie Dog Shooter. Proceed with caution with this response. It's unlikely to be Mr. Talarico. And then, you can pause that and read all that bullshit from Thomas just having a joke. Yeah. Jacob, I tried to invest $650, but the minimum for wire transfer is $750. Was this done just to get an extra $100? Frustrated with 25 minutes left on the countdown. Don't invest, for crying out loud. Christ. Is this person in the clip really the founder of the Intellivision Amico, a curator of the so-called family-friendly content? I will let's open link in new tab. I'll come back to Jacob's replies. Marcus's Corner, yeah, Tommy Talarico. I'm not going to play the video. Anyway, to Jacob's replies, we get... I'm trying to work out which order these things are in. Is the extra 15% really important? 15% of nothing, still nothing. Because nothing from nothing, me leaves nothing. You got to have something if you want to be with me. Jacob, please ignore David S. He is an obvious troll, making nasty and inappropriate posts on virtually every comment. No problem, Nick. I'm going to rightfully decline this investment offer. Good. After tuning into the low-energy interview with the CEO last night, it's clear it's not going to succeed. He's got about as much energy as bloody Joe Biden. The lack of interest has also been shown here with, let's go Brandon, with the low turnout of investors. Day-to-day numbers here are incredibly low. I followed an investment campaign here on Start Engine last year for a dog food bowl with a lever on it. Dog food bowl with a lever on it, fuck me. Which did better in the same amount of time. Oh, good God. This, I'm going to come to Retrobone a little bit anyway, but there's a thing where he said somewhere, I think it's in one of the comments on one of his videos, where if you, people, what is it? He talks about another investment thing which amassed a whole $45,000 in a week. And so he thinks the Amico is doing brilliantly because it's already done, at the time, it already done more than that. I think it was to respond, replying to a comment from Dazed Gaming. Because at the time, yeah, I remember now, it had $47,000 on it. But, yeah, but that's, you know, as you've seen, it's $53,000 it's on now. And, was it a bit more? I can't remember. Anyway, it's, yeah, they want 5 million. They got just over 50 grand. It's not fucking happening at all. A fucking dog food bowl gets with a lever on it. That'd do well on Dragon's Den. Windy Pops. Hello, I just came to say I love you. Windy Pops. Came across this offering. Oh God, red wine makes me burp. I came across this offering and I'm invested. I think the world could benefit from a family-friendly video game console that has no violence or suggestive themes in its game library. However, when I googled the Amico, the name Tommy Talarico came up, and this the first result contained in this link on Twitter. Dare I I'm going to open the tab, and if you don't see it on my video, it's because it's very offensive. Let's have a look. Oh no, that's okay to show. It's just clips from his Atari Age thing. I thought it might be him in the buff. So one in the middle, gaming racist. You said that before. No, nothing about inexperienced, numbskull YouTubers or snarky message board posters. Folks like this don't have the intelligence nor the maturity to actually discuss the topic. Amico fanboys, or negative Amico fanboys, are nothing more than narcissists and cowards. Immature, intellectually challenged folks and morons. Keep in mind idiots like Pat. Negative morons, they're literally so unintelligent they are not self-aware enough to know how dumb they are. Mentally unstable folks, ego doesn't even begin to describe it, he's a real jerk in person as well. Who's that from? I can't see who it's referring to, maybe he's talking about Pat as well. Probably a very insecure one. Insecure, immature one. You guys are just too lazy and unprepared to handle an interview with me. Oh, he's talking about Pat, yeah. You're too lazy and unprepared to handle an interview with me. I'd waste you in every lame attempt at trying to make your idiotic points. Now hurry back to your safe space surrounded by your stuffed animals so you can sling your arrows instead of standing up for yourselves and facing me. There are some really unintelligent folks out there, usual know-it-all morons. Yeah, that aged well. Thank you for that, Tommy. Can anyone from the management team comment on why this person is Chief Creative Officer or has an executive level function at this company. I'm not familiar with his body of work, but I do not want this person in charge of any content I potentially give them, give to my children. Try and put it in order. Got something in fucking random order. If you question Tommy's suitability, you need to take a look at the following clip, and that's the video that came up before. 14 years ago, Tommy did a sketch, scripted for a comedy-based YouTube channel that is well known for their mature-orientated content. The sketch obviously does not singly define the 32 years of video game industry work, and blah 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 blah. Nick, go easy on the copy-paste responses. You pasted this one in the wrong reply. Jacob, we all make mistakes, and this platform doesn't allow you to edit or delete your post. Oh dear. With that said, I posted this specific response in the thread because David S. is posting the Tommy video in multiple places, including within this thread. What a shame. I did not watch the video from the trolls, but do you have anything to say about the more recent comments from Tommy Talarico that people call gaming racists and morons? They're on the Google image search results everywhere I look under his name. I see I have nothing under your name, it's only for him. I have 3 children, aged 1, 4 and 6. It's terrifying to think that the Chief Creative Officer will be someone who posts that verbiage online. It seems he's changed quite a bit over his 32-year history to someone who should not be in charge of children's media. Do you have any explanation or statements on this? It appears not. So, another sip of my wine. Jacob says, are there any plans to utilise the Amico trademark to obtain ownership of AmicoGames.com domain? Have I seen that one before? I think I might have seen that comment before. Currently used to create negative press. I think we would estimate it would cost anywhere from 10 to 20,000 in legal fees to go after these type of sites because they're totally anonymous. We have to get a court order. Yeah, it's just yeah. There's nothing they can do about it. It's the internet. Do they have an office in Utah? We're planning to move our office in Utah, so we didn't want to use the address we knew wouldn't be correct in the future. So use an address that we would be correct to receive correspondence, because it was just the office they used for a morning, just to film that video. That was all it was. Is there any information to disclose regarding the reason for having to leave the current office in Utah? We were shown a video tour of the building not long ago. It's on the expensive side, not as close as we would like to where much of our staff lives. Why the bloody hell did you bloody hire it out then? But then you didn't. You just did it for a day to make a day maximum to make one video. That's all the fuck that was for. Don't fucking con me, you bollocks. Why is it stuck on number 3? Contacting this organisation is terrible. I don't want to double invest. Why does the phone number direct you to an email and then the email says wait 5 days for an answer? I think I might have covered this last time. I've covered some of these comments anyway, but it's just basically, yeah, I think that's I've covered that one before. This Mayor B seems to be a bit of a not real person. Well, Thomas T replies as well. So I think I've covered this because he's just sort of, actually I thought I'd cover this, so unless I saw it on Reddit where they mentioned it, because it just seems like, I mean, you know, you can pause the video and you can have a look at this image if it's big enough for now. But this Mayor B is saying they're a more religious family. I like the family-friendly aspect. The above says Amico comes with 6 family-orientated games. As in when you buy the Amico, it actually comes with 6 games? Well, bugger me senseless. Nothing else we have to purchase right away. So, yeah, it's just a plant. It's just a bot plant put in by Tommy Tallywacker, just to make it sound like, wow, what a bargain this is. I'm going to buy this right away. Even though if you're going to invest, you should have been following it for quite some time. It sounds like they just like to throw the money into anything if they were a real person, which they're not. But there we go. So I think I've covered enough of that already. What else have we got next? We've covered that. Ugh. So next thing I'm going to mention is Slopes. Slopes extra rumpus room, God knows what. He's made another video. My new thoughts on the Intellivision Amico. I'm not gonna play it or do a reaction because, quite frankly, it was a bit dull. He's just sort of repeating a lot of things he said before. But he mentions, yes, this is about sort of 8 minutes in or so. He mentions the Sega Pico because he basically says he wants the machine to be like the Sega Pico, which, if you look at Wikipedia, it sold, well, in North America, sold 400,000 units, and in Japan, it sold 3.4 million. So it's clearly, it says it's powered by the same hardware used in the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive in the UK, and it's one of these sort of touchscreen computers that was sort of for young kids that came out. I mean, I'd have been too old for this when it came out, but it was $139 in the US at the time. Didn't sell very well. It's clearly just something for the Japanese market, and yeah, it's obviously for very young kids. Nothing for me at all. I mean, why? You know, this is the kind of thing he says he wants the Amico to be, but the thing is, nobody else wants this. Nobody else wants this to be anything that's coming out now. It came out almost 30 years ago. Nobody's interested in it. Why is he that obsessed about it? But you can't tell some people, can you? Slope also says that Tommy speaks to him from time to time in his video. Why? What's he going to tell him in a private chat that he should instead be communicating to the investors and to the board? And from what we're told, Slopes is not only not an investor, but he only backed the console with a $100 deposit, the same way a lot of people have done. So why would Tommy send him those cardboard boxes to review, which got completely taken apart verbally by those commenting on them? Perhaps Tommy expected him to show the boxes and the interviews on his main channel where he has over 150,000 subscribers, but instead he put it on his second channel where a lot less people would see it. I mean, he's got about 8,000 subscribers on the smaller channel. I was going to say new channel, but the second channel, and he gets less hits per month than I do on that channel. But you know, for whatever reason, without investing anything, Tommy felt. I mean, even Tommy had to pay for his own games, we're told, but he was happy to just give some to Slope to put on his channel that hardly anyone's watching. I don't have anything against Slopes. I just think he's misguided in getting so excited about the console when it's clear it's in its death throes. At least with this latest video, it does look like the penny has dropped a bit. I just hope he requests his refund. My voice is going. I hope he requests his refund for the deposit before Intellivision shut down, because this is not going to go. It's not going to work out well at all. So get your money out. And finally, the pièce de résistance, Retro Bro. And I've had like 4 topics in this video. I think we're going through the comments on that thing. Reminds me of when I used to go to the cinema in the very early 80s. Before, yeah, how old was I? Must have been about 7 or 8. And it's bad enough. You think it's bad enough now when cinemas have about half an hour of adverts and trailers before a film, which is ridiculous anyway, especially when the film, like the new Batman film, is like 3 hours long, and they're going to have half an hour of frigging adverts before that. But and there's going to be no intermission either. Christ, I think I'll just wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. But yeah, in the early 80s, and they used to have intermissions anyway in films, even when they're about 2 hours long, so they could sell you ice creams. But before the film started, not only did he have like I think there was like a cartoon or something, because he only ever had one showing per day really, or maybe one in the afternoon and one in the evening, and that was it. They didn't have it on all day long. So when it was like a big event that you went to, and I remember once going and they had so you'd have like a cartoon, you'd have adverts as well, and there was also like a short film about some market in India or something somewhere. A short film about, God knows how long it went on for, 15, 20 minutes, about a market on the other side of the world. Why? Maybe they thought that was interesting. Before you eventually got to the film, so it was like you sat there for an hour before the bloody film started. But yeah, bizarre. So they had like several things before the pièce de résistance, and that's what I've done here. So we're just going to cover parts of this because this is Retro Bo. He's so deluded. He thinks that well, let's just get into it. You know, it's obvious. It's obvious from what I've covered last time and what I'll show again in a minute, because it's sort of been dissected and picked out from by Ars Technica and stuff. But I wanted to find the actual comment in the SEC filing as well. And so let's just say what Retro Bo has to say. Start. Come on.
All right, guys, so the new rumor is Intellivision's running out of money. In the SEC document, Intellivision has to list all potential risk. If there is a 1%
I heard a rumor
chance or less that something might happen, Intellivision has to disclose it.
It has happened.
These are usually worst case scenario risks that would happen. So, in the disclosure statement, they talk about how much money is on hand and how they could potentially go out of business.
And give us all your money.
If they raised no more money. So obviously people saw this, freaked out. Oh, they're going out of business.
Correct.
So I'm going to play you guys the clip from last night where me and Retro Advisory Board and DJC Game Studios talked about this particular instance, and just give you guys the facts. Again,
facts.
I'll play the clip and we'll come back and talk.
Chuck, can we actually address this one comment by Fast Carapolito? So this is actually one of those things. If you go through the SEC documents, if you don't know what you're reading, if you don't quite understand what you're reading, it's easy to read that.
So Fast Carrier, whatever, says, I've heard Intellivision only has enough money to stay open for a few more months. If they don't get the console out in time, is that true? Well, yes.
If the wording, and I wish I had the document in front of me. I spent yesterday afternoon reading over the entire thing. But what's going on is the way it's worded is there's a risk page. So Intellivision essentially has to list every single risk possible. Like,
I'll come to it in a bit.
If it has like a 0.5% of a chance to happen, Intellivision has to list it as a risk.
Look how fucking smug DJC is. He's backed the wrong horse, but he's just smug about the fact he's going to lose his shirt. He's already lost the sleeves on his shirts anyway.
They do that to Start Engine has to do it, the CYA, their ass. Intellivision has to do it, and then it's all approved by the SEC. So what's happening is there's a line in there that's being misunderstood. If they were to raise no money from before the Start Engine started, if they went zero bottom line and had nothing, they would only have enough money in the bank and in assets to get through July. However, if you look through the SEC document,
it actually, I'll show it in a bit. It actually says it's going to be less than that.
You'll see that they currently have other fundraising and other investment opportunities in place. So,
yeah, other places to get loans, and we've seen how well it's gone already for Mr. Agarwal. He's going to be, he's going to lose his shirt as well. But if it was making money, then it'd be in clover.
They're getting money from other investors. There's also a note in there that says the board of directors are putting their own money into it, or will be putting their own money into it.
Will be. They won't be putting any money into it.
So that line only takes into account if they were to go to zero and raise no more money. And if you look at the
they'd be fucked. And so far they've raised 50 grand. That's pretty much no more money in terms of trying to release a frigging console.
History of their the amount of money that they've been able to raise for the last 3 years, that's extremely unlikely for that to happen. Extremely unlikely.
Can I jump in when you're?
Isn't this guy normally out and about, walking about during live streams? Glad he's decided to stay in for a minute.
You're done.
Yeah,
so read the paragraph before that line, because what they are describing and what they have to do when you're filing your forms with the SEC, same as like read any end user license agreement, and you notice the forms with the.
The people who are going off about this document don't understand anything about businesses or these types of necessary disclosures. So yes, the fact they've got no money is not a red flag to you?
The SEC, same as like read any end user license agreement, and you notice it's very draconian. It sounds like they want to take away all your rights and they're responsible for nothing. And if the computer explodes in your face, it's on you. I mean, this.
That's a bit fucking, a bit much. But then again, the whole investment's going to blow up in their face. So there you go.
This is them covering their bases. This is what are the possible risks that you could imagine in a worst case scenario, put them out, because investors' money is going into this and you have to inform them of what could conceivably go wrong. You have to help them make an educated decision about why, what the risk factors are to your organization, whether they are.
It's amazing. This is three people who were so blinded by this thing, and yet they've not even got anyone from Intellivision on to G things up. Not that. I mean, Tommy's gone, and Phil Adam hasn't got any personality. And so these people they're just talking amongst themselves about how wonderful the whole thing is. And why are they shilling for this console? It's incredible. Anyone sensible knows it's just not happening.
High risk, low risk, whatever. You have to put them all out there. But what John was talking about in this case was the Intellivision, in opening this Start Engine crowdfunding campaign. They are looking to.
Yeah. Tommy belongs in the CFO position exclusively. Excellent move. He is too talented and artistic in nature. That means faster release of games for us and more of them. Now he can focus on that. Oh yeah, of course.
Engine crowdfunding campaign. They are looking to, amass X amount.
TJ Ferreira, another member of the Amico cult. Just he's a bit odd.
Of money. And the two questions that were asked was what happens if you get the minimum, which is $9,999, and what happens if you reach the maximum, which is $5 million. And in the preceding paragraph, they told what their plans are if they get the $5 million or if they get the minimum, and they said what their expectations are. They expect to get about $500,000 from this crowdfunding campaign.
Just play that back again. They're going to get $500,000 from this crowdfunding campaign, which has only amassed 50 grand so far.
Which is $5 million. And in the preceding paragraph, they told what their plans are if they get the $5 million or if they get the minimum, and they said what their expectations are. They expect to get about $500,000 from this crowdfunding campaign. They'd love to get more, but by getting $5 million, they're giving away shares, so they're giving away money in the long run. This is not their preferred way of revenue.
But if they get $5 million, then whatever shares they give away, there's still going to be quids in. That's how it would work. But there's no fucking way they're getting $500,000 out of this. They've only just scraped, in the first 3 to 4 days, they've only just scraped a tenth of that.
Fundraising, they'd rather go through, and the reason they're incorporating the way they are is because they've reached their limit in how they can fundraise at this level.
Yeah, they've reached a limit. They're fucked.
When you are a startup and you are going through fundraising rounds, there's only so much that you can do at each level, and then you have to go on to another level. You are capped with what you can do and how you can raise X amount of dollars. So you have to you have to evolve your company in the startup process. You have to go through all these filings. It's a laborious process of kind of growing your company and going through fundraising. There's only so much you can do. So they have the option of doing this, taking these funds from Start Engine, have the option.
I wonder what George Plimpton said.
Of doing this, taking these funds from Start Engine, but their preferred option is to go through other avenues. They are already working with potential investors, institutional investors who want to back them with money, and that was in the preceding paragraph. So $1 million funding from that, which would be the full cap that they could get from this type of fundraising. So they're looking at getting that from institutional investors. But if they don't get all that they are hoping to get, and they've already got, I think, 1.6 million, they've said, they can decline this stuff from Start Engine. So it's not something they have to.
So they're going to decline whatever they get from Start Engine.
The full full cap that they could get from this type of fundraising. So they're looking at getting that from institutional investors. But if they don't get all that they are hoping to get, and they've already got, I think, 1.6 million, they've said, they can decline this stuff from Start Engine. So it's
in a pig's eye.
Not something they have to do, but it's something they are, it's a safeguard for them.
All right, guys, so there you see it. Again, thank you for coming back to the channel. Again, you're at the place for the most factual and accurate Intellivision Amico news. I'm glad I could cover this with you guys. So don't rest assured, everybody, Intellivision is not running out of money.
It is! It fucking is! Good God! What is the matter with you? You spent more time growing a fucking goatee, than using any of your common sense. Unbelievable.
They are not going anywhere within the next couple months, even
within a couple of months. And then they'll be gone.
6, 7, or 8 months. They're still going to be around. They're still raising money. Months. Even 6, 7, or 8 months.
6, 7, or 8 months. Yeah, that's if 7 or 8 months will be if they get the $5 million.
They're still going to be around. They're still raising money. And
why? Who's giving them money? Who do you think is giving them money? Why would they? This thing has been announced 3.5 years ago. It's been delayed multiple times. The whole thing, there's so much I've covered that it just shows what a shady outfit this is and what a load of bollocks it is. Why are you so blinded by this? My God.
Look at all these games. We're gonna be playing them soon.
You're not!
Awesome, I can't wait. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next video. You even Amico, bro?
Well, you don't, because you won't be fucking getting one. Anyway. So, this is, if you go to the, I'll put a link in the description. In fact, I see this on page 39 out of 76. How long will you be able to operate the company if you raise your minimum? What expenses is this based on? The minimum amount for the Start Engine crowdfunding offering is $10,000. Limiting the offering to this amount would most likely be the only case of raising funds through other sources. If no other sources of capital are raised, and if only the minimum is raised as part of this offering, so that's if they only get 10,000 and they've got 50,000 so far, the company would only have operating cash for 1 to 2 months. 1 to 2 months. So okay, maybe that's how they'd get to. Maybe that's how they get to July, perhaps. If they get a little bit more than that. How long will you be able to operate the company if you raise your maximum funding goal? The maximum is $5 million. Again, even with the maximum raise through this, it's expected the company would raise an additional $5 million, of which $1.6 million has already been raised. But they've burnt through $17 million already. In this case, that was the amount quoted in the last in the new Intellivision family trailer. In this case, the funds raised through Start Engine would fund the company for approximately 7 to 9 months. So they're going to have to get, $5 million, and they're gone in 9 months maximum. That takes them up to, it's going to take them up to around Christmas. And God, why does he think they're just going to win? I don't understand it at all. It's delusional at best. Christ. And I was going to say, have they got nothing better to talk about? But here I am making a video talking about what they're talking about. But I have got other things I could be doing, like with the gameplay videos I do. I really enjoy doing those. But I have to cover this as well because it's just mad what's going on. Anyways, let me know your this wine. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all notifications, and cue Genesis.